Have you ever wondered about the profound wisdom that Buddha, the enlightened one, bestowed upon the world? The teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, better known as Buddha, have been instrumental in shaping the spiritual landscape of our world. Over 2.5 millennia ago, a man named Siddhartha Gautama embarked on a spiritual journey that led him to the profound understanding of life and existence that we now know as Buddhism. Born into royalty, Siddhartha was deeply moved by the suffering he saw in the world and decided to renounce his princely life in search of truth and enlightenment. After years of intense meditation and ascetic practices, Siddhartha achieved enlightenment under the famed Bodhi tree. It was then that he became the Buddha, the awakened one. The first sermon he delivered after his enlightenment laid the foundation of Buddhism. Buddha shared the Four Noble Truths, the heart of his teachings, which are the truth of suffering, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering, and the path that leads to the end of suffering. The Four Noble Truths are the cornerstone of Buddhism. Buddha taught that life is inherently filled with suffering and dissatisfaction, a concept known as dukkha. He further explained that this suffering is not without a cause. The root of all suffering is attachment and desire, or samudaya. But Buddha didn't just leave us with the grim reality of suffering. He offered hope, a beacon of light in the form of nirodha, the cessation of suffering. According to Buddha, by letting go of attachments and cravings, one can end suffering. The way to achieve this cessation of suffering is through the Eightfold Path, or Magga. This path provides a practical guideline for ethical and mental development with the goal of freeing individuals from attachments and delusions, and it ultimately leads to understanding, love, and wisdom. The Eightfold Path is a comprehensive guide for living that includes right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. By following this path, one can achieve nirvana, liberation from the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, the ultimate goal of all Buddhists. Buddha's teachings are not merely religious doctrines, but they are timeless wisdom that encourages us to lead mindful, compassionate, and wise lives. They guide us to understand the true nature of our existence and inspire us to live ethically and thoughtfully. In conclusion, Buddha's teachings, from his enlightenment to the establishment of Buddhism, provide a profound and practical framework for understanding the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. His wisdom continues to illuminate the path for millions around the world, transforming lives and shaping philosophies. The impact of Buddha's teachings is as profound today as it was over 2,500 years ago.